Good morning. Could someone send me the recommendation calendar, please, for today? Thank you.
Who is this, Miss Thomas?
Yes, ma'am. I don't have the recommendation
Okay,
calendar.
this is Katrina.
Hey, girl. Good morning.
Good morning. I'll send it to you.
I'm just kidding. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, I think I've got it right now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Law, and we are going to begin with our state all-purpose calendar. This is with the State Court of Fulton County, a 9 a.m. calendar with regards to misdemeanor cases. These are criminal cases in which individuals who had already been arrested, their cases have been formally accused and bonds have been set. Today, we're going to get an idea of how the defendant would like to move forward with their case or cases after consulting with their attorneys. We are either going to have plea hearings in which defendants would have accepted a recommendation from the prosecutor and agreed to plead guilty or no contest to the charges in exchange for a recommended sentence. Otherwise, the defendant may also enter a plea of not guilty, and the case will be further noticed for trial. In either event, if you are a defendant charged with a misdemeanor offense or offenses, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you choose to say during this virtual proceeding that's not only being recorded but live streamed, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. An appointed counsel will represent you either from the Public Defender's Office or the Conflict Defense List. Okay, Ms. Lewis, I noticed we had a couple of add-ons. Is that in addition to what you gave me yesterday?
According to, I guess, a person who's taking the plea, position number 2, he has other cases. I just want to just put them on an add-on count. I did sit him out at the time. If he takes the plea, but what you got is what we have right now.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Courtroom 2, who shall we begin with?
Position number 2, Mr. Beasley.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge Law.
Good morning, Ms. Gutierrez. Yes.
I thought we were going to be doing that plea first thing this morning. That was my understanding. Mr. Gresham.
What plea?
Yeah. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, is that the case from the ORCA calendar?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Gresham, if you will please hold, we will be with you. Who is this attorney?
That's me, Your Honor.
Identify the attorney, please. Oh, Gabriel Winters. All right, Mr.
Yes,
Winters,
Your Honor.
please hold. I have to sort of manage the cases at the jail as well as those pleas. So if you please hold. Thank you. Ms. Courtroom 2, who was position 2? That was Terry Beasley, correct?
Yes.
And does Terry Beasley have additional cases?
They're all listed on the calendar, Judge. 4 cases total.
All right, let me see. All right, so those will be the 3 additional cases that Ms. Lewis indicated. All right, Mr. Terry Beasley, my name is Judge Law, and we are going to proceed with a plea hearing with regards to your 4 cases. You have been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Mr. Tom White. With regards to the 4 cases, they are 24 CR 6569F, 1 count of theft by shoplifting, and the remaining 3 cases also have 1 count of theft by shoplifting in each case. 24 CR 1775F, 24 CR 006583F, and 24 CR 006584F. Mr. White, to the best of your knowledge, are these the only open cases right now with Fulton County State Court regarding Mr. Beasley?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And this is going to be a plea hearing. May I place you under oath, Mr. Beasley? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
See, incident dates are September 11th, April 9th. Okay, Ms. Prosecutor, Ms. Jackson, good morning. I'm sorry, Ms. Jackson, could you give me an audio test? We can't hear you. Is Ms. Githea, is Ms. Jackson the prosecutor for this case?
I am not for certain, Your Honor.
Oh, Ms. Mokeke?
He is, Your Honor, but if he's taking the plea, I think if I can pull it up, I can go ahead and do it. Just give me 1 second.
Ms. Jackson, if you want to leave the Zoom and then come back in to correct your audio or check on your audio. We seem to have issues with the audio. Okay. All right, Ms. Mokeke, whenever you're ready, we're ready to hear the plea recommendation.
Okay, I'm ready, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
The plea recommendation for 24 CR 6569F is 12 months to serve 32 days, credit per time served 16 days, balance probated, stay away from all Walmart locations, an anti-theft course, and a $500 fine. The recommendation for 24 CR 1775F is 12 months to serve 8 days, credit for time served 4 days, balance probated, stay away from the Quick Trip located at 7875 Sequoia Road in Fairborn, an anti-theft course and a $500 fine, and that is going to run concurrent to 6569F. The recommendation for 24 CR 6583F is 12 months to serve 30 days, balance probated, stay away from all Walmart locations, an anti-theft course, a $500 fine that will also run concurrent to 6569F. The recommendation for 24 6584F is 12 months, balance probated, stay away from all Walmart locations, an anti-theft course, $500 fine to also run concurrent with 6569F.
Right. Mr. White, are these the terms to which your client has accepted?
Yes, Your Honor, the negotiated plea. The only thing we ask is to waive. He has about $2,000 in fines to pay, so we ask that you waive the fees. He's also dealing with some medical issues. 1 second. State and colon cancer, Judge. So that's going to be quite a burden for him. So we're asking that you waive all of his fees.
All right, and just 1 second, and Mr. White has confirmed this. This is a total of a $2,000 fine, correct? Ms. Mokeke?
Yes, this is a total of a $2,000 fine.
All right, so he'll be on probation for about 11 and a half months to pay a $2,000 fine. And what is the game plan to pay that fine if I pay off all the fee, if I waive all these probation fees?
What do you mean? What is the game plan?
What's the game plan?
It does work, so he's planning on paying as
work?
much as he can. Yes.
All right. So I will waive his probation fees as long as he complies with the payment plan. This is $2,000 over 11 months. He will need to make a minimum payment of $200 every month, which is going to be a requirement of his probation.
And Judge, it would be more than that because I have to add surcharge fees, and so it's gonna be a total of.
Well, no, I understand. I'm not making an equal distribution. He's going to have to make a minimum of $200 every month, and then the last month would be everything that's outstanding. I mean, he can pay as much as he wants as long as it's a minimum of $200. Is that a doable, great game plan, Mr. White?
Judge, he thinks he can accomplish that. We talked about it yesterday. I asked him specifically if he thought he could do it. He said he does.
All right. And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
We do.
All right, Mr. Beasley, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol?
Since I've been here, yes, ma'am.
And what kind of medicine have you, and even after consuming the medicine, are you able to understand what's going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the legal services you've received?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Beasley, if you decide to accept this plea with regard to these 4 open cases, you would have to waive your constitutional right to a trial. You will not get the opportunity to go back to a court of law to be able to have a trial in front of a judge or a jury. to have the assistance of counsel to be able to challenge the evidence brought against you, present your own defenses and arguments, confront your accuser, and have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering this plea of guilty to these 4 theft by shoplifting charges freely, willingly, and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if you get arrested again for theft by shoplifting in the future, that will automatically be a felony charge.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to these 4 counts of theft by shoplifting in these 4 separate cases?
Guilty.
With regards to all your sentences, there will be concurrent sentences. It's 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. You will report to the Fulton County Probation Office in person on Monday, and that's going to be, what's that going to be? October 7th. Yes, October 7th, before 3 p.m. The office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. I will waive your probation fees. However, you will be required to pay a total of $2,000 in fines plus court costs and surcharges. You, in the first 10 months, you would have to make a minimum payment of $200 to your probation officer. And you can pay as much as you want as long as it's a minimum payment of $200. And then the final payment will have to cover all outstanding fines, probation fees, and surcharges. You're also to report in person every month. And also you're to enroll in an anti-theft course within 30 days of being released. And you must show completion of that anti-theft class to your probation officer within 60 days from today. You are to stay away from all Walmart stores, not a single. There are about 1 billion of them on this planet. You cannot enter a single one of them. And you're also to stay away from the Quick Trip store at 7875 Sequoia Road in Fairburn, Georgia. That concludes your sentence. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Courtroom 2, if you'll just give us a moment, we're going to address Mr. Matt Gresham. And Ms. Githia, could you give me that case number, please?
Your Honor, I'm sorry the interruption. This is Lucia, the Spanish interpreter. I am needed at a hearing in a few minutes. So I was wondering, do you think I should stick with you? Can you get to the Spanish case? Or I could come back maybe in about a couple of hours. I don't know if you'll still be here.
All right, let me see. Who has the Spanish interpreter case?
I do, Your Honor. I was not able to interview anybody yesterday. Nobody came to the court.
How many do you have?
One person.
All right. Courtroom 2, and what's the name of that person if I can put you in a breakout with Miss Lucia right now?
Rolando Lopez, position 25 and 26.
You're having an echo on your audio, so you might want to correct that, but we can do that. Rolando, courtroom 2, is that person in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, he'll be appearing on jail court's iPhone. So
Okay.
if she's able to just come back.
Ms. Lucia, you may step away and come back whenever you're done, and we'll be able to address that case. Thank you.
Yes, Miss. Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Githia, what's Mr. Gresham's case number?
There are 3, Your Honor. It's 23 CIT 000373. And then in consent, numerical order 74 and then 75.
Okay. All right, Mr. Matt Gresham, please unmute.
Morning, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning. This is Mr. Matthew Gresham, and he's got 3 outstanding cases from our Orca jury trial calendar, 23 CIT 003 000373, 23 CIT 00374, and 23 CIT 00375. Mr. Gresham, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case, the statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is Mr. Gabriel Winters. This is for purposes of a plea. Mr. Gresham, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. And are you at work right now?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I don't know if your employer is happy with you displaying the company name on your shirt, but that's entirely up to you. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, what's the recommendation for these three cases?
The state is proceeding on the speeding, Your Honor. It was a 89 and a 65. He is to pay a $500 fine and complete a defensive driving course, which he has completed September 19th. We have the certificate of completion. And the racing and the reckless driving will be null pros.
All right. And the speeding is in which citation? Is it 374 or 375?
The 75.
75, okay, thank you. And Mr. Winters, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID? And does your client accept these terms?
Yes, Your Honor. And as the state has said, he's already completed the defensive driving course. So all he has is to pay the fine, and we can do that instanter. Judge, the only other thing I would ask is I also submitted a 0 points order. I'd ask the court to consider signing that as he's completed his defensive driving and is prepared to pay the fine in total.
I will not do that. Y'all can submit that to the Department of Driver Services, and the department can go ahead and adjust his points accordingly.
Okay.
All right. So are we still proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gresham, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol?
I have not.
And have you understood what's going on in your three cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your legal services?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
And are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you decide to enter this plea, you would have to give up your right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not get the opportunity to challenge the charges brought against you, confront your accuser, be able to present your defenses and arguments, and have the state prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to one count of speeding, 89 and a 65, which is a super speeder violation?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Your sentence is going to be a $500 fine, and to complete the defensive driving program, which you've already done so. The $500 fine must be paid before 5 p.m. tomorrow, October 4th, 2024. You would have to come down to the Fulton County Clerk's office and make sure you pay that fine with the Treasury. You probably have to go to the clerk's office at the J3 building at 160 Prior Street and give them your case number, and they will advise you accordingly of how to pay your fine. Now, if your fine is not paid by 5 p.m. tomorrow, you will report to probation on Monday, October 7th before 3 p.m. and you will continue to report to probation until your fine is paid.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, Mr.
Judge,
Wayne?
I'm going to take care of that fine for him. Is there?
Hi, this is Sierra. We don't do probation. We would just have to suspend the license.
Oh, okay. I guess that's the case then. If he doesn't pay it by tomorrow, what was it? October 4th, then his license will be suspended. You're going to take care of Winters?
Yeah, it'll be taken care of today. I'm down in Atlanta already, but I just want to make sure, do I need a disposition to take to them or just give them the case number?
As soon as the plea paperwork is sent to me and I sign off on them, they'll be filed. And then that disposition will be on file, after which he can pay the fine. So Mr. Winters, you'll have to plan your time accordingly based on what's going on. I have about 37 pages of cases this morning. So just to let you know, it won't be till after 1 o'clock.
Judge Law, I'll enter the fine amount in as soon as we're done with this, so he can come to the window to pay the fine.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, Winters, anything else, sir?
Nothing further.
All right, Mr. Gresham, Mr. Winters, y'all have a good day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Your Honor, that concludes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Oh, I've lost my video. Okay, there we go. All right, courtroom 2, who's the next case? Or ACDC?
I'm not sure if ASG Jackson is back yet, but I have positions 19 through 42. So if we could do one of those.
All right, courtroom 2, it looks like we're hailing someone, so. Who's that ACP? Is that Francois? She's always.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, there we go, okay.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Okay, I'm gonna let courtroom 2 call out the cases and then we'll take it from there, okay?
If courtroom 2 is still waiting, we can do position number 8 through 12.
Oh,
Ms. Rhonda Clark.
yeah, Prosecutor Jackson's not available, so we're starting with position 19. I don't know what happened. Does she have
Position 19.
yeah.
Okay, then I can't do neither one because my next case is going to be position 17. So,
All right, Ms. Mukeke, if you can let Ms. Jackson know to
they're not ready for us yet.
Yeah, she's coming back on. She said her computer was turning back on. So she should be here momentarily.
We can go to position number 19 through 22, Mr. Jinks.
All right, thank you.
And Judge, just be mindful, we also have a sign language person on the line.
For which position?
That's gonna be for Bruce Morse. He's position.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. He's position number 27.
Okay, courtroom 2, position 27 is available after this. We have a sign interpreter case that we would need to proceed with. All right, Mr. White, your client is Eddie, middle initial L, Jinks. Mr. Jinks has got 1, 2, 3, 4 matters before us today. Would that be correct?
There's 2 cases, Judge, and 2 FTAs.
19, 20, 21, and 22. That's what I have. Is that correct?
2 cases and 2 FTAs, yes, Judge.
Okay. So, Mr. Eddie Jinks, as your attorney indicated, you have 4 cases before us, including 2 bench warrants. You have been advised of your rights and your counsel is Mr. White. This is going to be a plea hearing for 24 CR 2822A, in which he's accused of criminal trespass, and 23 CR 4904C, in which he's accused of disorderly conduct. The other 2 matters are bench warrants under 24 FTA 1452 and 1453. Mr. Jinks, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Mokeke, what's the recommendation?
Your Honor, the recommendation for position 19 is time served, 22 days, credit for time served, 11 days. And the FTA will be null crossed upon taking of the plea. The recommendation for position 22 is 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served 13 days, balance probated, stay away from all MARTA location, 8 weeks of anger management. The initial plea offer did not include a no further contact with the victim, but we would like to include that he have no further contact with the victim, Janawa J. Her last name is N-J-I-E.
Repeat the last name.
Jai, N-J-I-E.
Okay, N-J-I-E, all right.
And then the FTA would be null crossed.
All right. Mr. White, are these the terms to which your client has accepted? And do you so stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
Judge, I need a minute to discuss the no further contact with him.
Oh, okay.
Only take a second, but if we, I'm gonna need to.
Judge Law, quick question. Were you referring to the state?
Yeah, the prosecutor. I think she's she.
I'm sorry, repeat that again, Judge Law?
I was waiting on the prosecutor, Ms. Jackson.
Okay.
So we're still waiting for her to join the Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
You get out before me. Yeah, we're ready with Mr. Jinks. He's agreeable to the no further contact. And we do stipulate, we would just ask that you waive a couple of months of probation fees and allow Mr. Jinks to report by phone or mail. He is going to be entering a sober living in-house treatment, and that will be in Memphis. So, and since the one thing he has to do is just the 8 weeks of anger management, we'd ask that you allow him to report by phone or mail.
And when does he plan to travel to, is it Memphis, Tennessee?
That's correct.
And when does he plan to travel there?
Well, once he gets out and gets recontacted with the sober living people before he was brought in, they had a bed for him. So that will,
Do we
it's
have
not
any
entirely up to him.
Do we have any verification that he plans to enter such a facility?
We do not have any verification of that in court today. No.
Understood. Thank you. He'll be required to report to probation every month until he has written verification that he is entered into such a facility, and that the probation officer will have a contact person to verify that Mr. Jinks is entered into such a facility, is continuing to live there and receive treatment. Would your client still like to move forward with this arrangement?
Judge, yes.
All right. And the anger management program must be completed in Georgia before he goes to Tennessee. So he'll need to understand that he needs to report to probation. I will waive his probation fees for the first 3 months in order for him to complete his anger management, after which then, provided we have the verification, he will then be allowed to travel to Tennessee, subject to verification and contact being established with probation. All right. So if those are the terms to which your client wants to accept, I will be glad to proceed.
Judge,
Mr. Jinks?
yes.
All right. All right, let's go ahead. Mr. Jinks, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No.
Are you sure you've not consumed any medicine?
Oh, medicine, mental health medication and blood pressure medication.
All right. And after consuming this medication, are you still able to understand what's going on in your cases so far?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just having difficulties with my hearing. I've been taking ear drops for it, but it seems not to be getting well. And it's hard for me to kind of hear, but I can understand.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to hear your attorney?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I just want to be sure that you're able to understand me and your attorney with regards to your 4 cases.
Yes, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with your legal services?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that you will have to report to the Fulton County Probation every month until you provide written verification that you're entering a facility in Memphis, Tennessee. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not allowed to leave and go to Tennessee until we have verification.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you enter such a plea that you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury?
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not be able to confront your accuser in a court of law, to be able to present your defenses and arguments, and have the prosecutor prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to 1 count of criminal trespass from February 10th, 2021? Did you hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I said guilty, Judge.
Sir, sorry, I had something drop. How do you plead to 1 count of disorderly conduct on August 9th, 2023?
Guilty.
Your sentence for criminal trespass is going to be 22 days. And since you've already completed that sentence is closed out. With regards to your bench warrant in 24 FTA 1452 and 1453, those will be dismissed or null pros. With regards to your conviction for disorderly conduct, your sentence is 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served, 13 days. You will report to the Fulton County Probation on Monday, October 7th, before 3 p.m. The probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. Did you hear those statements, Mr. Jakes?
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. I got a hole in DeKalb County too as well after this here.
Well, I didn't know about that. Mr. White, are you aware of his DeKalb County hold?
Yes, Judge, we're aware of DeKalb County hold.
All right, then once your sentence is, once I've announced the sentence, you will be released to the DeKalb County hold. Once you have resolved the DeKalb County hold, you are to report immediately to the Fulton County Probation Office on the first available weekday, which is going to be a Monday, a Tuesday, or a Thursday. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You are to remain with the Fulton County Probation and report every month until you have completed the 8 weeks of anger management classes. So you must enroll in the anger management classes within 30 days of reporting to the Fulton County Probation. You're also to stay away from all model locations until further order of the court and have no contact with Janawa Najee, N-J-I-E. You may enter the facility in Memphis, Tennessee, once your probation officer has written verification that you have admission into such a facility and that they have a contact person with whom they can communicate about the status of your situation while in Memphis, Tennessee. Until then, you are not to leave Georgia until we have that verification and until you have completed your 8 weeks of anger management classes. Your first 3 months of probation fees shall be waived. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Next, we can go to position number 24, Mr. Leon.
Is that our ASL case?
No, Your Honor.
Is our ASL case ready though?
No, he will be presented in medical.
In medical?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, position 24, we have Raphael Leon, accused of criminal trespass from September 23rd of this year, case number 24 CR 6744Y. Leon, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Mr. White. Mr. White, I'm so sorry. How are we proceeding, Mr. White?
It's a negotiated plea, Judge.
All right. I'm so sorry. I'm flipping between windows to get to the correct screen. All right. It's going to be a plea. Mr. Leon, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. You may lower your hand. Ms. Mokeke, what's the recommendation?
The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 22 days, credit for time served 11 days, the balance to be suspended, and that the defendant stay away from the Walmart located at 4735 Jonesboro Road in Union City, Georgia. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for purposes of the plea.
We stipulate nothing further, Judge.
Mr. Leon, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am. No.
Have you understood what's going on so far in your case?
Yeah.
You understand what's going on?
Yes,
And do you understand your attorney?
yes,
Are you satisfied with the legal services you've received?
yes,
If you decide to plead guilty to criminal trespass, you would have to give up your right to a trial. You will not come back to a courtroom to face your accuser, to challenge the evidence brought against you, and to have the prosecutor prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to waive these rights?
yes,
Are you entering a guilty plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
yes,
How do you plead to one count of criminal trespass at a Walmart in Union City?
yes,
Repeat.
yes.
He said guilty and then he said yes.
All right, sir. Mr. Leon, your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 22 days, credit for time served 11 days, balance suspended. Your sentence for this case is over, but you cannot return to the Walmart at 4735 Jonesboro Road in Union City. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Next, we can go to position number 40, Mr. Wright.
40.
This is Trevon, Trebun, Wright, accused of theft by taking under accusation 24 CR 6578H. Incident date appears to be September 9th of this year. Mr. Wright, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Maureen McLeod.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. McLeod. And Ms. McLeod, how are we proceeding with your client?
This is going to be a negotiated plea today.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wright, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Mokeke, what's the recommendation?
The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance probated, stay away from all Georgia Tech property, no further contact with the victim, Zan Dong, take an anti-theft course, and complete 40 hours of community service. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
We do so stipulate.
All right. And Mr. Wright, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't hear the response. Are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
If you decide to enter this plea, you would be giving up your constitutional right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not get the chance to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, present your arguments and defenses, and have the state prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of theft by taking at Georgia Tech?
Yes, ma'am.
Repeat.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen very carefully, otherwise you're going to be in jail for another week. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of theft by taking at Georgia Tech?
How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
No, not.
No.
Ms. McLeod, I don't think your client understands. Maybe I can address him next week.
I believe he's not hearing, Your Honor. We spoke and he indicated to me that he fully understood the terms of the plea.
All right, I'll ask him for the third time. Mr. Wright, how do you plead to one count of theft by taking at Georgia Tech?
Guilty.
Repeat.
Guilty.
That sounds better. Your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. The remainder of your sentence is going to be on probation. You will have to report to probation on Monday, October 7th, before 3 p.m. You will report every month, and while you're on probation, you are to stay away from all Georgia Tech property and have no contact with Mr. Zan Dong. While on probation, you will complete an anti-theft class, and you are to enroll in this class within 45 days of being released. You're also to complete 40 hours of voluntary community service, and you are to complete minimum of 5 hours per month and do a minimum of 5 hours every month until all 40 hours of community service are completed. You can do the community service hours at any nonprofit agency, which is not a church and not a school. And you're to report to probation every month. Make sure you also keep up with your probation fees. Anything else, Ms. McLeod? I'm sorry, you're on mute, Ms. McLeod?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
One thing, Mr. McLeod, position number 6, with regards to a defendant, Aquabis, AQU ABIS, Aquavis. Last name Boozer, BOOZER. It appears that he need to be appointed another conflict counsel. May I refer this case to you?
Yes, Your Honor. I will check to make sure that I can represent him.
All right, let me give you his case numbers. 23 CR.
I have the Your Honor on the
Oh, you do? Okay, great. It's petitions 6 and 7.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, medical, who do we have, please?
Number 27, Moore.
All right. By any chance, is Miss Jackson with us right now? Not yet? Okay.
Your Honor, I do have some other people on the calendar, but I have a matter before Judge Porter, so may I log off and come back to take my other matters? Thank you.
We'll hold for you. Thank you. We have Bruce Moore, who is at the medical facility, 24 CR 006-549E, accused of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, theft by taking, and simple battery against a police officer.
Excuse me, Judge, this is your interpreter, ma'am.
Oh,
Okay.
this is the interpreter case? All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to need you to start again, please. And if you would, for me, I'm going to need you to slow the rate of speech just a little bit. Sign language takes a little extra time.
Understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Larson, may I place you under oath?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony being translated will be a true and accurate translation with no changes and embellishments?
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it. Thank you. This is 24 CR 006-549E, State versus Bruce Moore. Medical, can you unmute and confirm that Mr. Moore can see the sign interpreter on?
He can see it. I made it big enough for him to see her.
All right. And can he confirm that he's able to understand what she is signing to him?
You understand? He said no.
Miss Lawson, I am
Yes,
not.
ma'am.
If can you, well, medical, can we please have Mr. Moore come closer to the screen?
I think he doesn't understand sign language, period.
Okay.
Ms. Kim requested an interpreter.
Yes.
I thought that was clear that she, was you aware that he did not know sign language?
I asked him yesterday. He told me that he needed to have a sign language because he was hearing impaired. That's why I wanted to make sure he understood me. I was not sure if he understood me or not.
Now he's saying that he do understand, so I don't know what's going on with him.
Miss Larson?
Yes,
please
ma'am.
Ask Mr. Moore, what is 5 plus 5? Mr. Moore will need to respond. What is 5 plus 5?
We don't see her on the screen now.
All right.
Because the screen is activated by voice.
Can we start the
change to gallery view?
Is it possible to spotlight the interpreter? The host can usually do that.
I did. I got y'all both pinned, so it just shows y'all 3 at this time. He needs to look up.
Look up. There you go.
He need to respond.
He said he don't know. He shoved his shoulders like he don't know. So
He doesn't know.
All right. I don't think he understands the sign interpreter.
Maybe he can't do the math problem.
All right, let me
And I
ask,
have a transcript on too, Judge. Can he read? Because the transcript is on. Can you see the transcript?
Can you read?
Can't see
He
her.
said no.
all right, Ms. Kim, we'll have to do this in person. We'll have to make arrangements for him to do a in-person hearing. It would either have to be with our court or with the division judge. I cannot, in all honesty, proceed with anything with Mr. Moore until we ascertain what mode of communication is he comfortable with. Thank you. Case is reset. Ms. Moore, would you like, Ms. Kim, would you like to file a waiver of arraignment?
Absolutely. I'll do that, Your Honor.
Ms. Lawson?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know, well, I don't think he understood. I don't know. It's more likely than not, he did not understand you, so.
Okay.
So we're going to reset this case for an in-person hearing before the division. Thank you. Appreciate
Yes,
your
ma'am.
time, Ms. Lawson.
My
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
Judge Law, we do have Ms. Jackson. She is available, so we're gonna do positions 8 through 12.
All right. Oh, Ms. Jackson?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes. This is Rhonda Clark at the Fulton ACDC. Ms. Clark, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be, is it Mr. White?
No, it's Miss McLeod. Miss McLeod. She should
And-
be on.
And Ms. McLeod has stepped away. So do you have another case for Ms. Jackson?
Both of her cases are for Miss McLeod.
Ms. McLeod was here, but then she had to step away to Judge Porter's courtroom. So we'll have to wait for her to come back in. All right. Those are the only two cases you have?
Yes, also the competency.
Is that person's not going to be here, right?
Yeah, they're that's not till later when the competency starts.
Okay. So I'm sorry, Francois, she was here, but then Ms. Jackson wasn't, so it's sort of
Oh my.
hit or miss. Okay?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Who do we have?
We got a position number 32, Mr. Robertson. Tim.
And Judge, also, we have a private attorney, Charles Webb on the line. He needs to speak to his client. I don't know if he has or not, position 37 and 38.
And who is this client?
Position 37, 38.
Jaquan Watkins, courtroom 2. Do we have a Jaquan Watkins in the courtroom?
He will appear on medical.
All right. Mr. Webb, Charles Webb. Hello?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good heavens, I don't know what I'm looking at, but am I looking at you? It's very dark and
He
am I
reverses.
looking at a speedometer? Mr. Webb, you'll have to come down to the jail to speak to your client.
Wow.
Mr. Webb? Oh,
I will be on the way to the jail.
okay, thank you. All right, courtroom 2, we have Ronald Roberson accused of fare evasion and criminal trespass and murder on September 19th, 2024. Accusation 24 CR 6591C. Mr. Roberson, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Kim. And Ms. Kim, how are we proceeding?
Plea, Your Honor, negotiated plea.
And Mr. Roberson, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Mokeke, what's the recommendation?
The state's recommendation for count 1 is 12 months to run concurrent with count 2. The state's recommendation for count 2 is 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days, balance suspended, and a stay away from all MARTA locations. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Yes, we do stipulate for the purpose of.
Mr. Robertson, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood what's going on in your case?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney services?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
If you decide to enter such a plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial. You will not be able to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, present your defenses and arguments, and have the state prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up your constitutional rights for this case?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to 1 count of fair evasion and 1 count of criminal trespass at MARTA?
Guilty.
On the fair evasion is going to be 12 months concurrent with count 2. The sentence for count 2 is 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days, balance suspended. You are not to return to any MARTA property. You're not to use the trains and buses. You're not to enter the stations, the parking lots, or the sidewalks, or use any of their facilities, including the bathrooms, until further order of the court.
Yes, ma'am.
Answer, this is a permanent ban.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can use any of our wonderful facilities in Georgia, but you cannot use MARTA. Thank you.
Judge, I'm sorry, can you repeat what the first fair evasion is? It
12 months concurrent with count 2.
Okay, 12 months suspended concurrent with count 2.
Correct.
Okay, they got 12 months balance. Probation. That's why I was kind of confused.
And I think we can go either way. 12 months concurrent with count 2 and 12 months is, count 2 is suspended after 14 days, so.
Okay.
Okay, I saw someone seated in medical. Is that who we're addressing, or courtroom 2? Do you have someone else?
We do, but we can go to position number 30, Mr. Price.
We have position 30, State versus Tono Lono Odysseus Price. Ms. Kim, is that your client, Mr. Price?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Price is accused of theft by shoplifting from September 15th of this year, 24 CR 6590G. Mr. Price, do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do, Your Honor.
You've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Ms. Kim. Ms. Mulcahy?
The state's recommendation for Mr. Price is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, to take an anti-theft course, pay a $500 fine, and stay away from all target locations. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Yes, we do.
Mr. Price, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
I have not, Your Honor.
You have not?
I haven't.
All
No,
right.
ma'am.
And have you understood what's going on in your case?
I do.
Are you satisfied with your legal services?
I am, ma'am.
And are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
If you decide to enter such a guilty plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial. You will not be able to go back to court to confront your accuser in front of a judge or a jury, to be able to present your defenses and arguments and challenge the evidence brought before you. You would also give up your right to have the prosecutor prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am. May I speak with my attorney really quick? Yes, ma'am, I'm ready to accept the plea, but I did want to say under oath that I do have a co-defendant, which is my mother. She's innocent. She was just kind of caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Would that Millie Ivy?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I guess we'll have to address the case separately. she's still got this open case against her. So that's something that Miss Ivy would have to address with her attorney and the prosecutor.
Okay.
But in the meantime, how do you plead to one count of theft by shoplifting?
I plead guilty, ma'am.
Your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. The remainder of the time is going to be on probation. Miss Kim, does your client have any other holds?
No, he does not, Your
All right.
Honor.
So he will report to probation on Monday, October 7th, before 3 p.m. at the Fulton County Probation Office at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While on probation, he will enroll and complete an anti-theft class. He will enroll in this class within 45 days of being released. He's required to pay a $500 fine, and he will make a minimum payment of $50 per month and every month thereafter, including probation fees and court costs. And he's to stay away from all Target stores. So, Mr. Price, if you see a store with a big red bullseye on it, you do not enter that store. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
This is position number 27. I'm sorry, 37 and 38.
Repeat the number again.
37 and 38.
That was Mr. Webb client.
Yes,
And
it's
he
a
was
private
asking for a breakout room. That was Mr. Webb.
Mr. Webb has left the Zoom and is on the way to the jail to speak to his client.
Okay. So I guess I'll take him back to housing then.
All right, this was 37 and 38? Or 27 and?
Yes, 37 and 38.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, his attorney is on the way to the jail to speak with him. We couldn't communicate on Zoom. All right, courtroom 2, who do we have next?
We could be in recess until Judge Corsi and Miss McLeod come back.
Okay, let me just go over the calendar then. It's only 10 o'clock. Position number 1 is going to be a plea, correct, Miss Kim?
Yes, it's going to be a plea.
All right. Position 2 was a plea. Position 3, 4, 5. Mr. Montario Bolton is going to be a waiver of arraignment.
That's correct, Judge.
All right. So this is going to be further notice. That would be Montario Bolton. Position 6, Aquavius Boozer, and for 6 and 7, we're going to appoint Maureen McLeod, and the case is going to be reset to next Thursday. It's going to be October 10th.
You're resetting position 6 and 7?
Yes, to October 10th. You'll need to speak to new counsel, Maureen McLeod. She's going to verify that she doesn't have a conflict. And then right now, that's who I've got. Rhonda Clark, position 8 is Miss McLeod. So 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12, we're waiting for Miss McLeod to return. Position 13 and 14, Jonathan Davis, what are we doing?
It's a waiver, Judge.
All right, Jonathan Davis, positions 13 and 14 is going to be a waiver of arraignment and further notice for trial. Johannes Gebru, position 15.
He will be reset.
Reset 10-8, Judge.
Reset to next Tuesday.
Yes, Your Honor.
Corey George.
Waiver, Your Honor.
All right, I'm sorry. I know you've got your list prepared, but I'm trying to do this between 2 windows. Okay, so
Judge, for that last one, 15, Can it be, y'all resetting it to the 8th count, October the 8th? Can it be October the 10th?
Oh, that's fine. Mr. White announced October 8th. Mr. White,
The counter's already out.
I'm sorry?
is it all right for your client, Mr. Gebru? We'll address him on October 10th. October 8th is rather packed.
Yeah, the calendar. don't
Okay.
start-
Judge, that should be okay. Thank you.
So, I'm guessing around 11.
October 10th. Moving on, position 17, Alexis Harlow is Miss McLeod's. Position 18, Michael Harris.
Reset, Judge, 10-10 will be fine. He's got quite a bit more time.
Okay, sounds good.
For position 18. 19 was a plea, 20 is null pros, 21 is null pros, 22 is a plea, 23, Lindarius Johnson. Does he need a conflict attorney?
Yes, Your Honor. It is
He's appointed
complicated.
to Miss Kim and they should be talking. Should be.
Oh.
Judge, that one was reset from last week. That's Mrs. McLeod.
Your Honor, that is my client.
Oh,
My-
present, okay. All
Yes.
right, let's see. Courtroom 2, do you have a case for Miss McLeod? Oh, you know, Miss McLeod, yeah, courtroom 2, if you have someone, but ACDC, I do know that Deputy Francois has one of your clients.
Two, Your Honor, two of them. I've already spoken with them and both of them are going to be negotiated pleas.
I think it may have been Rhonda Clark.
Rhonda Clark is one, Your Honor. I also have.
And Your Honor, you said it, position 6 and 7, the one that she has to look up.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for ACDC to come back again because she only had 2 cases on, there they are, okay. And Miss McLeod, positions 6 and 7, Equibus Boozer. Subject to you verifying you have no conflict, we will address his cases on October 10th. After you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So 6 and 7, October 10th. Francois, who do we have, please?
This is gonna be Rhonda Clark, positions 8 through 12.
Okay. Ms. Rhonda Clark, you have been advised of your rights and your attorney, Ms. McLeod, is on screen. We are going to address your cases. 22 CR 5604Y, accused of theft by taking and criminal trespass from July 24th, 2022. 23 CR 3157Y, accused of battery and theft by shoplifting from February 22nd and 23rd, 2023. 24 CR 6596Y, accused of theft by shoplifting from August 24th, 2024. And position 11 is a bench warrant, 24 FTA 1393 from July 25th of this year. And position 12 is another bench warrant, 24 FTA 1394 from July 25th of this year. May I place you under oath, Mr. Clark? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. Miss Jackson, what's the recommendation for, yes, what's the recommendation for Miss Clark?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation for the case ending in 604Y for count number 1 is 12 months probation. And we're asking for her to serve 36 days. Credit for the time she served, which is 18 days. The balance would be on probation. No further contact with Manuel Ramirez. To stay away from 960 Trotters Farm Road in Fairburn. And to provide restitution to the victim in the amount of $150. And to also take an anti-theft class. On count 2, we'd be asking for 12 months probation to run concurrent with count 1.
Position 9.
Your Honor, the offer is actually a global recommendation, and count position number 9 would run concurrent with position number 8.
So, all right, I'm looking at the recommendations. You have no further contact with Kecia Wilson, stay away from Family Dollar, 8 weeks anger management. So that's not applicable anymore?
No, I'm sorry. It's 12 months to serve 36 days, credit for time served 18 days, balance probated. No further contact with Takesha Wilson. To stay away from Family Dollar, located at 100 Southwest Broad Street, also located in Fairburn. 8 weeks of anger management, no firearm. And for count 2, 12 months probation to run concurrent with count 1, anti-theft course. And this recommendation would run concurrent with 22 CR 005 604Y, which is position number 8.
All right.
For position number 10, it's 12 months to serve 30 days. Credit for time served 15 days. The balance would be probated. To take the anti-theft course, to stay away from Food Depot, located at 80 Northwest Broad Street in Fairburn, Georgia. This would run concurrent with 22 CR 05605.
And you're going to null cross positions 11 and 12?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. And Ms. McLeod, does your client accept these terms and stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
Yes, Your Honor, my client does. But I just want to clarify that the anger management and the anti-theft class seem to have been mentioned twice, but I would imagine she's unexpected to do it one time.
Correct. It will be concurrent to all 3 cases, including the anger management appears to be only applicable to 1 case. And she'll need to stay away from 3 separate locations, pay a one-time fine of $150 and a restitution for $150. So
Yes.
yeah, there's no duplicative courses.
That was my concern, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Rhonda Clark, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol?
No.
And have you understood what's going on in all these 5 cases before you?
Yes.
You understand that you'll be reporting to probation every month and that you would need to comply with the conditions of this sentence.
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the legal services you've received?
Yes.
And has it been explained to you that if you enter such a plea, you would have to give up your constitutional rights to a trial in front of a judge or a jury? You will not get the chance to confront your accuser, to come back to court to challenge the evidence brought against you, to present your arguments and defenses with the assistance of your attorney, and have the prosecutor carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
On position 8, 1 count of theft by taking and criminal trespass from July 24th, 2022 at the, how do you plead?
Guilty.
With respect to position 9, 1 count of battery and 1 count of theft by shoplifting from February 23rd, 2023. How do you plead?
Guilty.
With regard to theft by shoplifting from August 24th, 2024. How do you plead?
Guilty.
The 2 bench warrant cases, positions 11 and 12, are going to be null cross. Theft by position number 8. Excuse me. Count 1 is going to be 12 months to serve 36 days, credit for time served 18 days. The remainder of the time is going to be on probation. You're going to report to probation on Monday, October 7th, before 3 p.m. at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta.
Okay.
You will report to probation every month. And while on probation for position number 8, you are not to have any contact with Manuel Ramirez and to stay away from the store at 960 Trotters Farm Road in Fairburn, Georgia. You're also to pay a restitution of $150 and complete an anti-theft class. With regards to the restitution, you shall make a minimum payment of $20 per month and every month thereafter. You're also to enroll in the anti-theft class within 30 days of being released. Count 2, criminal trespass, is going to be 12 months probation concurrent with count 1. With respect to position number 9, it would be a concurrent sentence of 12 months probation, serve 36 days, credit for time served 18 days. Concurrent probation. In addition to the concurrent probation, you are to have no contact with Takeshia Wilson and to stay away from the Family Dollar Store located at 100 Southwest Broad Street in Fairburn. In addition to that, you're also to complete an 8-week anger management program, and you're to enroll in that anger management program within 60 days of being released. You're not to possess and own any firearms. With regard to count 2, theft by shoplifting, it's going to be 12 months concurrent with count 1, and the anti-theft class will be concurrent as in position number 8.
Excuse me, Judge, as a felony hold, she won't be leaving out no time soon.
I'm sorry, Ms. Lewis, repeat.
She has a felony hold. She
No,
will
no,
not be leaving out no time soon unless she makes the surety bond on it.
All right, so this is a sentence and she will report to probation as soon as she resolves her felony hold. Well, moving on to position number 10 then. Theft by shoplifting is a 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. This is concurrent also to position number 8. The anti-theft class is also going to be concurrent to position number 8. And she's to stay away from the Food Depot store at 80 Northwest Broad Street in Fairburn, Georgia. All right, Ms. Clark, unfortunately, you won't be able to start on your probation and the conditions of these sentences until you resolve your felony hold. Once you're released from the Fulton County Jail, you're to report to Fulton County Probation before 3 p.m. on the first
So
available.
is that the supposed to be drug case that wouldn't weigh up, the drugs didn't weigh up on the scale?
Well, I can't address that because I have no idea.
No, I need to know so I can bail out on it. Oh, okay.
All right. So as I was saying, once you're released from your felony hold, you're to report to Fulton County Probation on the first available weekday, which is going to be Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday before 3 p.m.
Okay.
Thank you.
Position 1, oh, I'm sorry.
Medical, we're going to be right with you. We just have one more case with Miss McLeod at ACDC. Which one is that?
That's position 17, Ms. Harlow.
This is Alexis Harlow, accused of theft by receiving stolen property under 24 CR 6602B. Ms. Harlow, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is Ms. McLeod. May I replace you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
Ms. McLeod, I believe this is also a plea, correct?
It's a negotiated plea, yeah.
Mr. Jackson, what's the recommendation? Oh, I'm sorry, your audio is going in and out. Could you adjust it, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
The state's recommendation is 12 months or 28. Credit.
No, you're going in and out. Are you using headphones or a?
No.
I heard 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days. From what I understand, this is going to be a balanced probated with an anti-theft class and stay away from 185 Mitchell Street. Which, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. McLeod, does your client accept these terms and do you stipulate to factual basis, venue, and ID?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes to both.
Ms. Harlow, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Harlow, if you decide to take this plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not get the chance to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, and have the state prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
I am, ma'am.
Are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of theft by receiving stolen property?
Guilty.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days. The remainder of the time you're going to be on probation. Ms. McLeod, does your client have any holds?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
All right, if you have no holds, Ms. Harlow, you will be reporting to probation on Monday, October 7th before 3 p.m. at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While on probation, you will enroll and complete an anti-theft class. The enrollment must be within 30 days of being released. At all times, you have to stay away from 185 Mitchell Street in Southwest Atlanta. Thank you. All right, anything else, Ms. McLeod?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Francois, I believe that completes the two cases you had. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you, Judge Law.
Medical, who do we have?
Number one.
This is State versus Quintavious Alexander, 24 CR 65958. Mr. Alexander, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is Mr. Tom White. Do you see Mr. White on the screen? No, Mr. White, do you see him now?
Yes. Oh, yes, sorry.
All right. It's going to be a negotiated plea. Mr. Alexander, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson, what is the recommendation from the state?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served. The balance will be probated.
Her audio went out. We didn't hear everything she said.
Yeah, I know. There was background noise too. I'm sorry, Ms. Jackson, we're having audio challenges. Could you?
I can take it.
All right. I understand it's going to be 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 14 days, balance probated with no contact with Errol Jr., and stay away from all model locations, as well as 12 weeks of anger management classes. Ms. Mokeke, are these the terms that the state wants to recommend?
Yes, they are, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. White, are these the terms which your client has accepted? Mr. White, you need to unmute and confirm.
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
We do.
And your client understands that you will be serving additional time at the jail. I think it would be
16 more days, Judge. We did discuss that.
all right. Mr. Alexander, have you, I don't know, I don't think I placed you under oath. I think I did.
Yeah.
I did. Okay. Mr. Alexander, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol?
Not in the moment, just the medicine that they give me for my mental health and my blood pressure.
After consuming the medicine, are you able to still understand what's going on in your case?
Yes, it's just kind of hard to hear, but yes.
If you can't hear me, you need to let me know so that I can repeat myself.
Okay.
Are you satisfied with the legal services you received?
Yes.
And are you entering a guilty plea to battery freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you enter such a plea, you have to give up your right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury? You will not get a chance to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence that will be brought before you, present your own arguments and defenses, and have the prosecutor prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to one count of battery?
Guilty. Guilty.
I'm going to repeat again, and you let me know. How do
Yeah,
you?
guilty, sorry.
All right, you didn't sound so sure initially. I'll accept your guilty plea. Your sentence is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 14 days. You have 16 more days to serve at the Fulton County Jail. Once that's completed, you will report to the Fulton County Probation on a Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, immediately following your release, and you must report before 3 p.m. The probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While you're on probation, you will complete 12 weeks of anger management classes. You must enroll in those classes within 45 days of being released. You're also to stay away from all Martyr property until further order of the court. You're not to be seen at any of the Martyr stations, buses, and trains, and to stay away from all their facilities, their parking lots, their buildings, and their sidewalks. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position number 31, Richardson.
You need that?
This is State versus Aaron Richardson, case number 24CR 6479E, accused of theft by taking and misdemeanor possession of marijuana. Mr. Richardson, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is Ms. Kim. Ms. Kim, this is going to be
Negotiated plea, Your Honor.
all right. And Mr. Richardson, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Mulcahy?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation for count 1 theft by taking is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, no further contact with Scott Smith, stay away from 2110 Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway, and to complete an anti-theft course. We will be null crossing count 2, the possession charge. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Yes.
Mr. Richardson, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
I just took my prescription, but no, I guess no.
And have you understood what's going on in your case, even after consuming your medicine?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes.
Are you entering a guilty plea freely, willingly, and knowingly in this particular case?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Mr. Richardson, if you decide to enter such a plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not get the chance to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence that we brought before you, be able to present your defenses and arguments with the help of your attorney, and have the prosecutor prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to theft by taking?
Yes.
Say how do you plead?
Oh, I guess guilty.
I guess is not a permanent response. I need to know whether
Guilty.
you're certain.
Yes.
I'll accept your guilty plea to theft by taking. Your sentence is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated. You will be reporting to probation. If there are no holds on you at the present time, then you will report to probation on Monday, October 7th, before 3 p.m. Probation is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While you're on probation, you shall have no contact with Scott Smith and to stay away from 2110 Donna Lee Hollowell Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia. You're also to enroll in an anti-theft class within 30 days of being released, and you must complete that class to your probation officer's satisfaction. You have to report to probation every month until the 12 months is completed. Thank you.
Your Honor, he does have a hold at Smyrna.
Where does he have a hold?
Smyrna.
All right. So once this sentence is completed, Smyrna PD will have to come pick you up. And then once you've resolved that hold, then you report to probation immediately on the first available weekday, Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. Failure to report can result in your probation being revoked. Thank you. All right, this is a plea. Courtroom 2, do we have any other cases?
Your Honor, I have two clients that I need to speak with, but I am unable to get anyone to call me or.
Well, we have no one in courtroom 2. And with regards to Lyle Sanders and Ladarius Johnson.
Yes.
Courtroom 2, any chances of them being in that location today?
Your Honor, there are no deputies in here right now, but I can tell you Ladarius Johnson is on 6 North, so he would not be in courtroom 2. He would, if anything, be on jail iPhone. And what was the other name?
Lyle Sanders.
Sanders. I do not have a location for him, so.
Ms. McLeod, it appears that you may have to either wait until Mr. Johnson appears from the other location, or I can reset the case for you to speak with them once you go to the jail.
Yes, Your Honor, I would prefer if it gets reset.
Okay. So on Ladarius Johnson, that's position 23. That's going to be reset to October 10th. And with regard to Lyle Sanders, that's position, oh goodness, 33. And that's going to be reset to October 10th. The recommended, the recommended plea offer from the state for Sanders would require additional jail time, so there's no prejudice for that. And well, you'll need to speak to Mr. Johnson as soon as possible.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. McLeod. Position 34 through 36.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes, Ms. McLeod. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Nicholas Shadrick, Ms. Kim has indicated that this is going a request to reset to October 10th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Positions 34, 35, and 36 is October 10th. All right, so I don't have anyone else right now ready to take a matter. So let's see. Last place I stopped at was position 15, Gebru, was reset to October 10th. 16 was waiver of arraignment and further notice for trial. That was Corey George. Oh, ACDC, Deputy Milton, do you have someone we're going to address?
No, I'm just waiting for the composite calendar so I can go get Miss Hall.
Okay, all right. I don't know if we are ready to address that. It's normally at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, Your Honor. then I'll go get her.
All right. So position 16 is a waiver of arraignment and further notice for trial. 17, Alexis Harlow was a plea. 18, Michael Harris is reset to October 10th. 19 was a plea. 20 was null pros. 21 was null pros. 22 was a plea. 23, Johnson is reset to October 10th. 24, Rafael Leon is a plea. 25, Rolando Lopez. Ms. Kim? Let me see what else we received from her email. '25 and 26.
That's the case that we need Spanish interpreter, so we have to wait until she comes back.
I see. Okay.
I have not been able to interview him yet.
Understood. Thank you. So 25 and 26, you still need to speak as soon as Miss Lucia comes back.
Your Honor, actually, we can even reset that case because his offer is 120 days to serve, so there's no rush.
Is that the only interpreter case we're waiting on?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Miss Lewis, we're going to reset positions 25 and 26 to October 10th, and hopefully Miss Kim will get a chance to speak with him before the next court date.
I got it.
All right. If you can reach Miss Lucia, please tell her that we don't need her services for this calendar then.
Okay, I'll.
Thank you. Position 27, Bruce Moore was a waiver of arraignment, and that's going to be further notice for trial. 28, Pittman Nicholas is '28 and 29. Ms. Kim?
Yes, I was waiting for him, but he never showed up at Fort North, so I need to still interview him.
Okay. Jail Court iPhone, who do we have, please?
We have, hold on, give me a second. What's your name again? Mr. Johnson, he's position number 23.
His attorney, Maureen McLeod, appeared, and the case is reset to October 10th.
Okay. All right.
All right.
For Miss Kim, those guys that she's waiting for Fort North, they was doing construction up there, so it kind of delayed me. I'm gonna go back and get the person she needs on Fort North.
All right, Miss Kim, did you hear that? Miss Kim? I think she was nodding. So.
No, I wasn't able to hear. I'm sorry, I apologize. I was away from the.
No problem. I believe go ahead.
I'm sorry. The person that you were looking for on Fort North, they're doing construction on Fort North, so it kind of delayed me. I'm gonna go back and get them now.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Deputy, we have private attorney Charles Webb. Who's your client again, Mr. Webb?
Jaquan Watkins, positions 37 and 38.
Any chance he's at Fort North right now?
Watkins.
He was at medical at one point. That was the one that was at medical, Judge, and she took him back. I don't know if medical can hear us or not.
Medical, is Jaquan Watkins still with you? All right, Mr. Webb, you're gonna have to go to intake and find out whether you can interview your client, because I don't know. He was here while you were en route to the jail.
Stand by. Let me go get him. I just talked to him.
There we go. Okay, that's what I call service. Thank you, medical. Okay, Mr. Webb, we're gonna put you in a breakout. I don't know how we can do this. Do you have a device that you can join the Zoom?
No, they don't allow you to bring the devices in the court, in the jail.
Oh, okay. But attorneys were allowed to do so. All right.
Only defendants are, but not the rest of the bar.
Oh.
Defendants have that luxury, private
Be
attorney.
special, Mr. Webb. You need to be special. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing we did.
All right, if you hold, as soon as medical appears, we'll try to see how we can accommodate you. If there's no one in the courtroom, maybe we can put you in a breakout.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I see Miss Kim has a separate device, so just FYI. Okay.
You can use mine, I'm sending an email right now. Maybe she would be nice enough to let him use her device on the outside and they can chime in that way.
He's actually working on something right now, but Mr. Bartels has volunteered his.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Thank you.
Careful, Mr. Webb. These offers don't come without attachments, so.
I see.
Okay, so we're still waiting for medical to bring in Mr. Webb's client. So let me go back to Miss Kim. How would we like to address positions 28 and 29? You still need to speak with him, right? So that's at 4 North. So we're gonna hold for that also. Is this the one where he refused to speak with you?
No. They have a construction going on the 4 North. So officers were not able to bring anybody out yesterday and today. So he's having a hard time.
Okay.
He would bring in a moment.
Okay. All right. Medical.
Position 37 and 38.
All right. Thank you, medical. Mr. Webb, has he been able to? All right, Mr. Watkins, your attorney, Charles Webb, is going to be joining the Zoom. And we're going to place you in a breakout so that you can speak with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Hold, and as soon as he joins in.
So, yeah, he's gonna be on as me.
There he is.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bartel. All right.
I gotta turn it off.
All right, Miss Champion, if you could
You may
place.
need to go somewhere else because there's a lot of feedback. Yeah. It's like, it's less than perfect.
Miss Champion, I'm going to let you organize the help session. All right. Miss Kim, while Mr. Bartel and medical are addressing that, can we go back to the calendar? Position 30 was a plea. 31, Aaron Richardson was a plea. 32, Ronald Robertson was a plea. 33, Lyle Sanders is reset to October 10. Ms. McLeod will be counsel. Position 34, Nicholas Shadrick is 34, 35, 36, are all reset to October 10. Position 37, Jaquan Watkins is speaking with his attorney. So 37 and 38 is on hold. George Willingham.
Yes, he was the one that I went to 2nd floor to end, and I was told that he moved to another place, but no one knew where he was moved to. So they have to find him and let me interview him.
All right, so 39 is on hold. I love the way you say moved. It's like you just got transplanted. Okay.
Your Honor, he also has a 210 days to serve, so we could reset anytime. He's not doing much.
I mean, I'll be glad to reset. I just don't know what is the call-in roster for 4 North, so maybe he might appear. Okay?
Well,
Sure.
just, she said he has a long time to serve. Can we just reset him 2 weeks out? I'm just asking.
Yeah. Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis saying considering that the offer requires him to spend more than 14 days in jail.
Yes.
Objection to resetting him to October 17.
That is okay. On top of that, he also has another hold as well, so it should be okay.
All right. So George Willingham, position 39 is going to be reset to October 17.
Thank you.
Position 40, Trevon Wright was a plea. Position 41, Calvin Yarborough, 41 and 42.
Wait.
I'm sorry, is that going to be a plea or a reset?
He wants to reset to next week, Your Honor.
it won't be till, see Calvin Yarborough, 12 months to serve, 180 days serve, 31 days. Can we reset him to October 17th?
Yes, Your Honor, no problem. He also has another probation issue as well, so no problem.
All right, Ms. Lewis, positions 41 and 42 are reset to October 17th.
Got it.
Okay, so we'll be in a brief recess until 4 North appears or medical appears, and we can address whichever cases. Ms. Kim, do you need to speak to a couple more clients, right? Depending on who shows up?
I don't think so. I think we reset everybody actually.
And what about Mr. White? Does he need to speak to anyone?
I don't, Judge. We've handled all of my cases.
All right, so it's just Mr. Webb and competency right now. All right,
Yes.
we'll hold until they appear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge.
Good. I skipped them all.
Yes, sir. This is Jaquan Watkins, 24 CR 006574D, accused of criminal trespass and loitering and prowling from September 5th of this year. He's got a prior action 21 CR 004-574D from July 5th, 2020, DUI, driving under the influence of drugs, less safe, driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, and failure to maintain lane or improper lane change. Mr. Watkins, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and Mr. Charles Webb will be representing you. Mr. Webb, after conferring with your client, how would we like to proceed today?
Your Honor, we will be entering a tendering a plea for the court's consideration in both of these cases today.
All right, sir. Medical, please unmute. Mr. Watkins, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. This is going to be a negotiated plea hearing. And Ms. McKechnie, what's the recommendation for both these cases?
The state's recommendation for position 37 for count 1, the criminal trespass, 12 months, served 32 days, served 2 days. Balance suspended, no further contact with Asmita Saraswat. Stay away from all Georgia Tech property. For count 2, the loiter prowl, it will be 12 months to run concurrent with count 1. For position 38, the state's recommendation for count 1 is 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance probated, that he undergo an PET, he take a risk reduction course, a victim impact panel, pay a $300 fine, and do 50 hours of community service. The recommendation for count 2 is that it merge with count 1. The recommendation for count 3 is 12 months to run concurrent with count 1 and a $250 fine.
All right. And Mr. Webb, are these the terms to which your client has agreed? And do you stipulate the factual basis, venue, and ID for both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Watkins, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood what's going on in both your cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the legal services you've received?
Yes, ma'am.
And after conferring with your attorney, have you decided to enter this plea freely, willingly, knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
Has it been explained to you that if you enter such a plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury for both cases? You will not get the opportunity to have such a trial, to confront your accusers, to be able to challenge the evidence brought before you, have the assistance of counsel to present your defenses and arguments, and have the prosecutor carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And by pleading guilty to a driving under the influence of drugs less safe, your driver's license will also be suspended until it's eligible for reinstatement by the Georgia Department of Driver Services. Has that been explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you still willing to move forward with this plea?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand this is a final disposition and there's no right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of loitering and prowling at Georgia Tech property?
Guilty.
Your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance suspended. You are to have no contact with Asmita Saraswat and to stay away from all Georgia Tech property. On the loitering and prowling, it will be 12 months concurrent, balance suspended, and it's concurrent with count 1. With regards to your DUI case, how do you plead to 1 count of driving under the influence of drugs less safe and 1 count of failure to maintain lane change?
Guilty.
On the DUI, it's going to be 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance probated. If you have no other holds, you shall report to probation on Monday, October 7th before 3 p.m. The probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. Within 30 days of being released, you will undergo an alcohol and drug evaluation and submit yourself to any treatment that's required. You're also to complete a risk reduction program within 60 days of being released and attend one victim impact panel within 60 days of being released. You are to also complete 50 hours of voluntary community service, and you complete a minimum of 10 hours per month and 10 hours every month thereafter. You also pay a $300 fine with a minimum payment of $2 per month. Count 2 will merge with count 1, and count 3, 12 months with regards to the failure to maintain lane. That's 12 months concurrent with count 1, the DUI charge, with a fine of $250. And this will be a total of a $550 fine for this case. So I'm going to require you to make that $50 minimum payment per month, beginning in the first month. Any questions, Mr. Webb?
Your Honor, we would ask for a certificate of first conviction. This is my client's first conviction for any DUI. And the reason why this particular case was in a bond forfeiture status is because when the notice was mailed out to Mr. Watkins, his apartment number was left off of the notice and it was returned. So therefore they issued the warrant for his arrest.
I will grant a certificate of first conviction, but it will only be issued once Mr. Watkins comes to the clerk's office, surrenders his driver's license, and then he'll be able to receive a certificate of first conviction. And once we have that surrender, they will have to send the certificate to me for signature before he can forward that to the Department of Driver Services. So make a couple of trips to make sure he gets that.
All right. Mr. Watkins, understand that?
When I get my property, I take my license to the DMV.
Yes, or bring it to my office and we'll take care of it then.
Okay.
And he needs to see, y'all need to see me and Judge in the clerk's office. You need to ask for Katrina since I had the paperwork together.
All right, Mr. Webb, make a note. Katrina Lewis is the point clerk.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Webb, for making that concludes the sentence for Mr. Watkins. Thank you.
Be excused.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Jail court iPhone, who do we have, please?
We have position number 28 and 29, Mr. Nicholas.
And Ms. Kim, is this the individual with whom you need to have a conversation?
Yes, I do need to talk to him actually, so maybe we can be at the breakout room. There's nobody here.
All right. Do you want to get on your device? I see that you have a separate device on Zoom.
It's just that it echoes a lot, but I'll go to another room. Sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Judge Law, I do have a quick announcement. I just wanted to inform you, whenever you're ready for the competency, I have position number 10, Ms. Hall, whenever you're ready for her.
Oh, why are you standing?
All right. Let me go ahead. You can mute too if you want. Thank you. All right. Jail court iPhone, Deputy Attorney Kim is going to be joining the Zoom, and then Ms. Champion will place both you and Ms. Kim in a breakout session.
Okay.
All right. So please, Mr. Bartel. Would you like to go into a breakout now?
Your Honor, I think we can do the competency now. There's nobody except me and the two deputies.
Miss Jackson is joining the Zoom soon to do the competency calendar. If we could just give her a moment.
Okay. All right. So Deputy Francois, we can start the competency as soon as the prosecutor joins us, Ms. Jackson.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you, Judge Law.
And Ms. Champion will still need to go into a breakout with courtroom 2 for this calendar, okay? With Ms. Burgess and who else is going to be here? All right. Please hold until Ms. Jackson joins us.
They didn't have the bathroom and they're closed off for a couple of weeks.
Oh, courtroom 2, please place your screen on mute until we resume. Thank you.
Excuse me, do you all need position number 18, Michael Harris?
18, okay.
I'm asking, do you all need him? I can go get him.
His case is reset to October 10th. No, well, we'll address him on October 10th. The plea offer requires him to be in jail for additional days.
Can I have that man today? I'm gonna go ahead, tell him, because he thought he was going to court today. He was just asking me.
Michael Harris for the simple battery case, that was Tom White's case, and the case is reset to October 10th at 9 a.m. SAP.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. I cannot start the video because the host has stopped it. So would you please restart it?
Sure. Ms. Champion, if you can enable the video on at courtroom 2, or
Yes.
ask you prompt them to start video.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client would like to take a plea, negotiated plea, Your Honor.
All right. This is State versus Nicholas Pittman Nicholas David Pittman. So I've got 2 different order of cases. Do I address him as Mr. Pittman or Mr. Nicholas? Ms. Kim?
I believe it is Nicholas is the first name.
So Pittman is last name?
Your Honor, I apologize, but I'm gonna have to turn off one of them so I can, it does not.
All right.
Mr. Nicholas, can you verify if your last name is Pittman or Nicholas?
We need to unmute jail court iPhone.
Pittman.
Okay. Mr. Pittman, you have 2 separate cases, 24 CR 6589H, in which you are accused of simple battery and criminal trespass. The style of the case is State versus Pittman Nicholas, but he's also known as Nicholas Pittman. And the incident date is September 19th, 2024. And the second case is 23 CR 5412H. Mr. Nicholas David Pittman is accused of criminal trespass and willful obstruction from September 7th, 2023. Mr. Pittman, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of these cases, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, Ms. Kim will be representing you. As this is going to be a negotiated plea, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. McKenzie, what's the recommendation for Mr. Pittman on both cases?
The recommendation for position 28 for count 1, the simple battery, is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, stay away from all MARTA locations, no further contact with Raul Perez Santos, 8 weeks of anger management, 40 hours of community service, and to have no firearms. The recommendation for count 2 is 12 months to run concurrent with count 1. In regards to position 29, the recommendation for count 1 is 12 months concurrent with count 2. The recommendation for count 2 is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time 15 days, balance probated, stay away from all MARTA locations, a $300 fine, hours of community service, and that's going to run concurrent with 24 CR 6589H. I would ask the defense to state to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Yes, we do stipulate.
You've asked for the 40 hours of community service, that would be concurrent, correct?
Yes, that would be concurrent. I see that. That's a little confusing.
It's requiring him to do 8 weeks of anger management classes, do 40 hours of community service, and pay a $300 fine for both these cases. Conditions, and stay away from all MARTA until further order of the court. All right. Ms. Kim, are these the terms to which your client has agreed, and do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Pittman, have you consumed any medical alcohol recently?
Yes, ma'am. You said what?
Have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently? Repeat. There is a lot of background noise at jail court iPhone. Listening to Ms. Kim, could you mute your panel, please? I want to see if that audio might improve. Okay. Mr. Pittman, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol?
I have not.
Do you understand what's going on in both cases?
Yes, I do.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, I do.
Has it been explained to you that if you enter this plea, you would have to give up your right to a trial before a judge or a jury, to be able to confront your accuser, to be able to challenge the evidence brought against you, and have the prosecutor prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt? Has that been explained to you?
Yes, it's been explained to me.
Do you give up these rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to one count of simple battery and criminal trespass at Marta on September 19th, 2024?
Guilty.
How do you plead to one count of criminal trespass and willful obstruction of an officer from September 7th, 2023? I can't hear you. How do you plead?
Guilty.
For the simple battery, your sentence is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated. You will report to probation on Monday, October 7th before 3 p.m. at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. Ms. Kim, is that possible? No holds, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, there's no hold.
Okay. While on probation, you will stay away from all MARTA property, including buses and trains and the stations, until further order of the court. So this is technically a permanent ban from all MARTA property. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to have no contact with Raul Perez Santos. You have to enroll in an 8-week anger management program, and the enrollment must take place within 30 days of being released. You're also to do 40 hours of community service, and you must complete a minimum of 5 hours per month, beginning in the first month, and 5 hours every month thereafter. You're not allowed to own or possess any firearms. On count 2, criminal trespass, the sentence will be 12 months concurrent with count 1. On the second case, criminal trespass, the sentence is 12 months probation concurrent with count 2. Count 2, willful obstruction, your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. Balance probated, to stay away from all MARTA property until further order of the court. To pay a $300 fine with a minimum payment of $50 per month and $50 every month thereafter. You're also required to do 40 hours of community service, which will be concurrent with the first case we have just listed. Don't forget to report to probation this Monday, October 7th before 3 p.m. Thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right. The only other case that we are waiting on is, who do we have there, Ms. Jail Court Eichel?
We have position number 34, Mr. Sanders.
34. Mr. Shedrick, your attorney is Ms. Kim, and I believe Ms. Kim is going to ask this case to be reset to October 10th.
I believe it's not 34, Your Honor. He's a different person.
Sanders.
I'm sorry, what's his name again?
Lyle Sanders.
Oh, Lyle Sanders is with Ms. McLeod, and she has requested the case be reset to October 10th. So we will see him next Thursday.
Raise your hand.
Just your attorney is Maureen McLeod. The recommended plea offer requires you to have additional jail time, so this would not prejudice your case. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you choose to say can and will be used against you. So I do not recommend you say anything about your case until your attorney is present. Your attorney is not present right now. I'm sorry, I don't understand what he's saying. The audio is quite bad. Could you come closer to the device?
I'm supposed to have a court meeting yesterday, and I didn't attend that meeting. So I don't know if that's being reset or not either. That's what I'm trying to figure out. You know, I have this what I'm in here for. Plus, I was served with another subpoena for another court date. I don't understand why am I being reset for this?
All right. You can put your hand down, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor case for violating a family violence protective order from September 20th, 2024. In this particular case, your court date is October 3rd at 9 a.m., which is today.
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorney is Maureen McLeod. Ms. McLeod did appear, and she requested the case to be reset to October 10th so that she can have an opportunity to speak with you before the next court date. And as far as I can tell, this is the only case that is pending against you in Fulton County State Court.
Your Honor, I have a civil matter that I have to attend to on October the 10th too.
I don't know about a civil matter, but if
I have a civil case that that pertains to this that I have to do on.
case number for your civil case.
It's the paperwork is in the room. It's 24 CB. Is
that a protective order case?
Yes, ma'am.
You would have to contact the Superior Court Clerk's office about that.
I mean, if I have to do your court and theirs on the same day. That's what I'm saying. Y'all be setting me on the same day. I have to go to court for that.
I'm so sorry, but if the let me see if I can pull up that case. Just a minute. What's your date of birth?
March 4th, 19. Yes, ma'am.
March 4th,
1973.
1973?
Yes, ma'am. 34.
March 4th, 1973 for Lyle Sanders. There's this misdemeanor case.
I believe I have that case number for the protective order, if you need it, Your Honor.
Yes, please, 24 CV.
24 CV 011529. And there was a hearing on October 2nd, 2024.
Which was yesterday with Judge
And
Matthew or Judge Houston.
And because he didn't appear, the permanent TPO was not granted.
Oh, there you go. Mr. Sanders, a TPO order has already been issued against you from yesterday. You would need to file the appropriate motion in that case to get it reconsidered.
Oh, no, it wasn't granted, Your Honor. It wasn't there. So based on our conversation with the victim, they did not extend the TPO.
Oh, okay. 24 CR 0, excuse me. 24 CB 59. Let me see what happened. Oh, no, the case has not been granted because you've not been served. So I don't know whether the case has been reset.
It's been reset now.
It may have been, I
It's
don't
been
know.
reset.
You would need to check with the clerk's office.
Well, that's.
All right. We will see you with Mr. Clark next week at 9 a.m.
All right, now, you have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. We still, Ms. Kim, do you still need to see Mr. Lopez?
No, not anymore. We reset to October since he does have a long time to be in jail anyway.
Okay. All right, I think that, completes my list then.
All right. Thank you, Deputy.
Yeah, thank you.
Miss Champion, is Miss Jackson on the Zoom now? Okay. For
Yes,
those
she
who
is,
are-
Judge.
For those who are going into the competency calendar, please start your video so that Miss Champion may place us in the breakout room. So Miss Jackson.
SAP.
I'm sorry.
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right. Whoever needs-
Give me SAP done. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yeah, SAP is concluded.
Thank you. You have a nice day.
You too. We have Miss Burgess and Miss Kasha. If you could please start your video so that Miss Champion can put you in a breakout. Okay. I think Miss Champion, in addition to everyone on video, please also put Miss Kasha into the breakout. And we can stop the
All right, I'll be back.
the call. Please put properly in the chair, we will call. Put properly in the chair, we will call.
Okay, gotcha.
They still come back?
Sorry, Mr. Bartel. Yes, we were done with that. AC/DC? We're done with our competency calendar. Who do you have in the room?
This is actually going to be Hall, Tamji Hall, position 10 for the competency.
Yeah, his case is going to be reset to October 17th, and his attorney, Mr. Paul Bartel, will speak to him about how his case is going to move forward.
Hi, Ms. Hall, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, the judge is gonna let you sign your own bond, and Pat is gonna come get you on the 10th. That's a week from today, okay?
Okay.
Okay, all right, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our SAP calendar. Everyone have a good Thursday. Thank you.
You too, have a good weekend. everybody.
Thanks.